Okay, so first of all, I wanted to approach all the English speakers in the crowd. I know we have a lot of guests from all over the world, from the US and from South Africa and from UK. So first of all, welcome everyone. I will start just introducing a short introduction in Hebrew. You can find the translation in English in the chat. And after that, we will switch to English, and then the translation will move into Hebrew in the chat. אוקיי, אז אני חוזרת לעברית. אז ערב טוב, חברים יקרים, אני חייבת להגיד לכם שהערב הזה הוא ערב מאוד 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 מרגש, גם ברמה האישית וגם ברמה העסקית. אני מניחה שכשסיפרו לכם על הערב הזה, סיפרו לכם על רגע גדול בזמן, על איזשהו game changer, על מהפכה שמגיעה לעולם השיווק הרשתי. יכול להיות שחלקכם קיבלתם יותר פרטים, חלקכם קיבלתם פחות פרטים, אבל אני מניחה שאם יש משהו שמשותף לכולכם, זה שכולם מאוד 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 סקרנים לשמוע מה קורה. אז אני חייבת לומר לכם שאני לא יודעת בדיוק איך הזמינו אתכם ומה סיפרו לכם, אבל כל מה שהם אמרו זה אמת לאמיתה, ולכן הרגע הזה הוא רגע באמת מאוד מרגש. יש כאן רגע גדול בזמן, אני יכולה להשוות אותו לכל מיני רגעים אחרים שככה חלפו ועברו, ויכול להיות שחלקם ידענו לנצל את ההזדמנות ותפסנו אותה, ובחלק מהם אולי פספסנו את ההזדמנות ולא תפסנו אותה. לפני שאנחנו מתחילים, אני מזמינה את הדובר הראשון שלנו, טים סיילס, נתחיל עם טים סיילס קודם כל. לפני שאני מזמינה אותו, אני באמת ממליצה לכם להקשיב בקשב רב למה שהולך לאמר כאן הערב, כי יש כאן באמת רגע מאוד מאוד מרגש, שהולך לשנות את התעשייה שלנו מהקצה אל הקצה. כל מי שהוזמן לערב הזה, זה אנשים שמכירים את תעשיית השיווק הרשתי, אנשים שפעלו בתעשייה, בין אם הם פעילים כרגע או היו פעילים בעבר, כדי שיהיה לכם את היכולת להשוות, אוקיי? כדי שתוכלו לבוא ולזהות את החזון, לזהות את גודל הרגע ולזהות את הקפיצה הקוונטית שהתעשייה שלנו הולכת לעבור, וזה מתחיל היום באירוע הזה. אז אני לא רוצה להכביר עוד במילים, אני מניחה שכולכם כבר מאוד סקרנים לשמוע מה זה הפלטפורמה הזאת ואיך היא הולכת לגעת בחיים של כולנו. אז אני מאוד מאוד נרגשת ומתכבדת להזמין את הדובר הראשון, מר טים סיילס, שאני מניחה שאם אתם פעילים בתעשייה, שמעתם עליו, יכול מאוד להיות אפילו שלמדתם ממנו, כי באמת רובנו וגם הלידרים והמנטורים הגדולים ביותר בתעשייה, באמת מה שנקרא גדלו על ברכיו ועל ההדרכות שלו, הוא אחד האנשים שעוד בשנות ה-80 יצר הצלחה מסחררת בתעשייה, יצא לפנסיה אחרי 5 שנים, ומאז במשך 18 שנה, באמת קידם את התעשייה בצורה גינרית, הוא ייעץ לקרוב ל-300 חברות שיווק רשתי, הוא השתתף אצל הארי קינג, הוא הוציא את הסרט המפורסם, Brilliant Compensation, שאני מניחה שרובכם צפיתם או השתמשתם בו אפילו בפעילות העסקית שלכם, והוא אחד האנשים באמת שכולנו חייבים לו הרבה מאוד על כל העבודה המדהימה שהוא עשה עבור כולנו בתעשייה. אז בלי להוסיף עוד מילים, with no further ado, לי יש את הזכות ולכם יש את העונג, קבלו בהרבה הרבה מחיאות כפיים והרבה הערכה והוקרה, מיסטר טים סיילס.
I said hi, just like you. No volume on. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. So I am so very honored to be here. Today has been a very, very busy morning for me. I just took my wife and children to the airport, raced back here and organizing everything. And I love this moment where I can just stop and say, okay, all right? Because what I really want to share with everyone is a concept called how to get freedom, how to earn freedom. Because for the last 34 years, I have been on a quest for freedom, and my freedom came in about 5 years. That's how long I really worked to get the freedom that I wanted, all right? And then I retired and it was a bit lonely. And I was like, man, I want others to have what I have. And so that is the reason I went into training and helping other people. And that journey just continued. And so what I want to share with you today really is just that. It is how you can get freedom. And I don't know about you, and you can put it in the chat down below, but I have felt over the last couple of years an attack on freedom. And so I just kind of say, okay, it's time to, like in the military, when the enemy makes a move, you make a counter move. And so that just means that I need to be out there more and communicating with people how to actually get freedom. So that's what I'm going to be talking about. And so no matter what I say, it's always going back to this concept called freedom. All right, so I'm going to share my slides here. Okay, so this is for people who want to earn freedom. And my background is military. I was in U.S. Navy Special Operations, and I had the honor to work with a cooperation with the Israeli Special Forces. And wow, did they humble me. And I've never seen any tougher group of people in my life. And so I have always respected Israel and what it stands for. We train for battle, but you guys have been in battle for a long, long time. And so, I have much, much respect for you. On that Navy ship that I'm on right there, I took a college course. There was a professor who flew out onto the ship, and he was offering a course on how to manage your money. Well, I didn't have any money, but I thought it was a good idea for me to learn about it. And I will never forget one phrase that he said. He said, if you want to make a lot of money, you have to either own it or sell it. Own what? Own a business. Sell what? Products. And so I couldn't envision owning it because I kind of viewed myself uneducated. And the only thing that I really knew how to do was to shoot, build bombs, defuse bombs. And that was my world. So when it came to time that I got on shore duty, I answered an ad for a sales position, and it just happened to be network marketing. And so that was where I created my freedom. Now, what I'm going to talk about first is not about network marketing, okay? And it is, and just in case you don't know me, I don't fluff things. I don't exaggerate things. I believe that a business should stand on its merits, period. Okay. And so when I say that this is a revolutionary product, it really is a revolutionary product. There's not anything like it. And based upon the patents, there won't be anything like it. So I call it the world's most simple online business is what I've kind of named it, because when you really look at it and work with it, you'll see that. So there's 27 brand new patents, and these are business process patents. They don't give these away easily. You have to really earn business process patents. It's not multi-level marketing or network marketing. It's not affiliate marketing. It's not Amazon seller. It's similar, but better than all the above. Okay. So, and I find it fantastic to, when the chaos is the highest, it's where I have found a niche to always thrive when everybody else is in chaos. And so when everybody else is distracted, you're going to see me moving real fast. All right. And so that's kind of the strategy in terms of you earning freedom. So the simplicity is this thing that I'm talking about with the 27 patents, the thing that's not MLM or anything else. The simplest way you can view it is it's just an app. right? It's just like an app. I love a software program to do my workouts, right? So I can just log in and I can do my workouts on my phone. So it tells me what I do. I put in the number of reps that I did and I just keep going. So that's the simplicity of an app, a messenger app, a Venmo app. So my workout app, transfer money through Venmo. There's a marketplace app and there's a seller app. And so the seller app that Amazon offers is probably the easiest way for you to view this, although it's quite different. Speaking of Amazon, I just want to share with you kind of like, who is he? What's he done, right? So no question about it, he has created a phenomenon in terms of business. And he got there by allowing affiliate marketers, people who want to, let's say, write a blog post about the best camera lens and then put a link to Amazon to buy it. And then Jeff Bezos and Amazon shares a commission with them. And it started out where the commissions were right around 9% on average. Now, some things they have higher margins and some things they have lower margins, but the average is going to be about 9%. That was back in 2012, okay? But you can see as this graph, it's gone down to where the average now is 3% commission for the sales. And so if you got in back then and you locked in the search engine optimization for camera lenses, then you did very, very well, okay? Because it was a high volume. All right, now I like to show you this and then cross over to here to every time you see the stock price jump up, it's when he announces he's lowering commissions. Okay. And so he's keeping more of it, or Amazon is. And so therefore, that's why he's projected to be a trillionaire by 2026. All right. So the one thing that I can absolutely say for certain is that independent social media selling, in other words, that's you and me communicating to the people that are our friends on social media, along with user experience reviews, are in front of trends, okay? There's no doubt in my mind, because I'm a shopper just like I am a seller. And so I know these things, and you know them. Revenue sharing, in other words, when a company is going to pay commissions for you referring them business, that's in front, okay? Those are trends that are very dominant right now. However, when a company chooses to lower commissions and not allow the seller to interact with the customer, that's going to die, okay? And the reason I say that is because the social media influencers and even the micro influencers, and a micro influencer is somebody who might have 100 people on their Facebook account or their Instagram account. Those people have been basically being paid pennies for what they bring to the company compared to what they bring to the company. And so I think it's a trend that's going to die because there are much better models. All right, so here's the simplicity of it. You click a link and you buy it. Could be a tennis shoe, could be skincare, right? You get that link, you post it, you earn a commission. That's the simplicity. And you can't really get more simple than that, all right? Now, you can have products that are common products. Let's say skincare. You can have unique products or novel products, as I like to call them. And I prefer novel products, but I'm not opposed to getting a commission on, I don't know, Q-tips that go that clean the wax out of your ears, you know, like whatever it is, if somebody wants to buy it, great. And that opens up the whole market, if you will. All right, so just to narrate it again, when someone purchases from your link, they can now become sharers of their link. Each purchase made from their link will reward both of you. Okay, so I'm going to talk about, and this is very important that you see these two things different. There's a customer network and there's a business network. The rest of this conversation for a limited period of time is just on customer networks. The business network I will do afterwards. All right. So I happen to know the author of this book. His name is Jack Carr. He lives up near me. He was former Navy SEAL. And he wrote a book called The Devil's Hand. It's a good book. I like all of his books. And he sells that product or that book for $24.17. And so let's say that I were able to go to him and say, hey, what discount would you give me? In other words, profit would you give me if I was able to sell your product? In other words, you don't have to pay for any advertising costs. It's just, if I bring you a customer, how much money would you give me? And he says, I'll give you $5, just for an example. All right. Now that benefits the business owner, Jack Carr, because he can increase sales without increasing marketing costs. So the only time he ever pays anybody is when a purchase has been made. And so that's really good. Okay. So this $5 goes into the app. And so if this right here is you, and this is me, you send me a link. Okay? I buy the book. Now I get a link, and then I send it to somebody. All right. So now let's see how that happens. So that $5 is going to be cut in half. You're going to get the first half, $2.50 income from sales you make. Then this person, when that person purchases, you'll get $1.25 income from sales your customers make. And then when that person purchases, then you're going to make 62 cents. But this person will make the $1.25. Okay, you get this idea. So each level is going to pay, and when this person right here sells it, when that person buys, then they're going to get the $2.50 and so forth. In other words, that compensation plan just keeps on going. So there is no benefit to be above or below because the compensation plan is the same. All right. So it goes down, then it's 30 cents, and it keeps on going all the way down to 1 penny. All right. That's the simplicity of the whole thing. Okay. Now, I'll go in a little bit deeper because as I talk to people, they ask questions. And so here's the questions. Is this network marketing? No. Customers getting customers. That's all that it is. So we have had it programmed in other countries, and other countries don't call it multi-level marketing or network marketing because it's not. You buy one product, no other requirements. You see that idea? That's very, very different than you have to be commission qualified each month or sales quotas and things like that. Get the entire compensation plan worldwide because you purchased one product, right? So that's the idea. This is the next question. is my customer and their customers tied to me? In other words, are they interlocked? Yes, but only for specific products. You see, so in network marketing, typically when you sponsor somebody, that person's production, because you have trained them, you're going to earn a commission on. But in this app, it is for specific products. They buy from your link. And I'm going to read the question again. Is my customer and their customers tied to me? Yes, for all repurchases of the same product. Okay, that's real cool. Because if, let's say that my wife had this in my office. If I purchased this and then I had my wife purchase from my link, then every time she bought these, I would get a commission. All right. Next question is, if my customer buys another product from the app, do I earn a commission? In other words, I send the link to my wife, but she purchases this while she's in the app. No, I would not get a commission on this. I would only get a commission if she bought more of these. And so then no, if your customer buys a different product from the app and promotes it, you won't get a commission. All right, so let me give you an example of that. So in our example here with the Jack Carr's Devil Handbook, this person purchases it, and then they forward their link, and you're going to get all of this commission here. But if this person promotes the book here, they don't buy it. Instead, they buy a tennis shoe. You do not get a commission. Okay, now I'll say this. In the business network, not the customer network, in the business network, you could earn a commission on the shoes and anything else that they purchase. Okay. All right. So let's talk about this concept that I came up with called Beyond the Penny. As I showed you, you're going to get paid all the way down to a penny. But the person that you brought in, there's a penny below them, right? And then below them, so on the second level, there's 3 pennies on all of that wave 8, and then a penny on all of the wave 9. So you kind of get this idea here about that it goes beyond your pay plan at some point, a penny. But the person who joined, let's say right here, that person, they're picking up the $2.50, and then they have all of the volume down below there. In the business network, you can earn a commission beyond the penny. And I want to just show you how significant that is. So these are real numbers. The average Instagram account has 150 followers. All right. You may not have 150 followers, but somebody you know may have 250 followers. You get the idea. That's very important. And so you have 150, and then that 150, each of those has an average of 150. And then on the third level, 150 times 22,000, okay? And now you get the idea of how significant geometric progression works at a multiple of 150. And so on wave 3, you would have 3 million people. Now you know how social media grew so fast and how profitable those companies are. But whose people are they really? Well, they're our friends and our friends' friends and so forth, right? And so, so that's the average. And Facebook has 2.8 billion people on it. Twitter has 330 million. Instagram's 112 million. So Instagram is the smaller one. Okay, so I just wanted you to see how significant this is. And so just to kind of give you a repeat of this, you post a video promoting the link, and maybe somebody sent you the video. Others post videos promoting the link. Now, some people are going to go all out. So one of the problems that I see in this app is a customer doesn't necessarily mean that they are a promoter, right? So in the network marketing space, it's kind of the whole thing that Ariella and Yair that I work with all the time, we work together. We're creating marketing campaigns and we're doing these things. But sometimes customers will just share something. And so I like that we get just that sharing. But then there's also in the business network, we have an opportunity to propel it, if you will. And so I just ran if we got a 5% conversion rate, then the people that you promoted it to, you'd make $7, and only 7 people bought, you'd make $7.50 on wave 1. And then on wave 2, you would make on only 50 cents, you'd make $562. And that's 1,100 people buying it. But on wave 3, you would make $42,000. 168,000 people will have purchased at 5%. So now you see the very importance of understanding, being able to combine kind of the affiliate marketing model with the being able to be paid on multiple waves, even though it's not network marketing or multi-level marketing. All right, so the beyond the penny really matters, okay? So, all right, so to kind of give you an analogy of the two different networks, and excuse my example, okay? Because my dream was to get on a farm, to be able to grow my own food, raise my kids on a farm, and so forth. And so this is a potato bucket, okay? And the way they work is that you drop this bucket down inside of another bucket. And so this is like the customer network where your people can end up spreading out and getting products that you didn't promote and things like that. But if you were also in the business network, that bucket kind of drops inside the business network. And so it contains, and you're able to capture volume within a network marketing business model. Okay, so that's what I'm going to show to you next. And so if you can just kind of vision this here, this is the customer network here, and you drop that down inside of the business network, and that volume accumulates to where you could earn up to $2,000 a week and even more, and you get the business tax benefits and things like that. So me, I don't want to leave $2,000 a week or more on the table. And so I would prefer to do both models, okay? So, all right, so now I get the honor to bring on, I'm gonna take off my screen here. So, Dr. Cooper, are you there? There he is.
I was just going to mess with you and act like you couldn't hear me, but that's all.
All right. So I don't know how the translators are typing the translations. I don't know how they're going to keep up with you because you talk faster than I do. But for everyone who doesn't know Dr. Cooper, he is a masterful man. You can't record this, Fred. I don't want you to ever use this against me. He's genuinely the most caring person, the most responsible person that I know. Okay, so and when I talk about responsibility, is if he's going to get something done, he's going to get it done no matter what, and that is what I have come to really admire. At first, I just admired his competency. I got the honor to work with him when he was working with a company called USANA. He was the president of the company at the time, and he was, in my opinion, the main driver of the whole company. And then there came an opportunity that he and many of the other executives left to start a new network marketing company. And that is who I joined. I did not join because of any products, because we didn't have any products. I didn't join because of their compensation plan, because we didn't have a compensation plan yet. And, and so you get the idea that a business, name it RX, name it New Age, name it USANA, whatever it is, it's made up of people. And I have just never lost when I've gotten connected to the right people, competent, able people. And Fred Cooper is probably the most competent I know. And he's the person who discovered, however you want to say it, this product. Okay. So, Dr. Cooper, thank you for joining us.
After an introduction like that, Tim, anytime.
All right. So I have a couple of questions that I'd like to ask you. And, but I want to first start off. I'm impressed with you from your education background, but moreover, competency trumps education, because I used to have this saying, if you can't do it, teach it. And so you are able to do it. So please give just a brief background of your education, what your expertise was in your education.
Gotcha. Sure. So I have a few degrees from the University of Utah. I started at the U with a degree in economics, communication, psychology, and business, specifically related into finance. I got cheated on there. I'm still a little, sensitive about that fact. But then from there, I was planning on going actually to corporate law school, and I wanted to go to Stanford, and I needed to get an MBA. So I applied, and I was headed to Wharton for my MBA, and the University of Utah offered me a PhD program if I would rather skip my master's and go straight to a PhD in business. So it was either pay for Wharton and go broke, or get a free education and get a PhD. So I called the University of Stanford, and I asked them at their law school, which is better, a Wharton MBA or a University of Utah PhD? And they said it was a tie. It didn't matter. So I said, okay, then I'm going to stay at the U and get a PhD. So I went to my PhD program. I also finished all but one class in my master's because I wanted to always say I skipped my master's. So I'm one class short of my master's in, believe it or not, communications class of public speaking. So I don't have my master's, but I'm real close. And then I have a PhD, and I did two majors. I have one in production and operations management, and another one in statistics. And my minors are research methodologies, and I'm trying to think of my last one, business strategy. So if I would have done one more PhD dissertation, I would have two PhDs. But I figured that's enough. I'm educated. I'm sick of it. And at one point, I had a student of mine who was in a master's program for business ask me to solve a compensation plan for binary for, as you said, USANA. And that's how I got my first taste of network marketing, was solving a compensation plan. And from there, I worked full time, and the rest is kind of history. I was there for 15, 16 years. So that's kind of my education.
That's a lot of education.
A lot of education.
Now, if that isn't impressive, now I would like to ask you, when you got to USANA, what was the stock price at that time?
I think it was around $1.50, $1.80, somewhere between $1 and $2. And while I was there, yeah, embarrassing as it is, it went to as low as 80. I believe it was 89 cents is the lowest it was in my early years at USANA.
And when you departed it, what was the stock price?
Before or after I resigned?
Just prior.
$60 a share after two 2-for-1 stock splits.
Oh, so that would have meant it was like
$2.40.
$2.40, yeah. So from 80 cents, or let's say call it $1, to $2.40. That was a good return.
Yeah, people did okay on that one. It went down to begin with. We had some issues. You know, we had to work it out with the field. We had to figure out that our field mattered, you know, and get them positively impacted, etc. So I wouldn't give me the credit by any means, but between me and a few other individuals, one being, of course, Mark Wilson, who's with the company, we figured out that our greatest asset was our field. And as soon as we figured that one out and made amends and repair and got them fired up, our sales went crazy. And we had, oh gosh, I don't remember. I want to say 9 consecutive years of record growth every year. Never went down a year.
That's ridiculous, because I do believe that there was a stage during that time that we were in a recession.
Yep.
Or near one.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah. So I hope everyone caught the details and nuances of his experience. And that last phrase, or that last discussion that he talked about, where we realized that our field was everything, because it was why I joined them, is because they created this thing, and I'll share with you guys later, but while he's on the call, it's called the Bill of Rights. And it's just one of those things that it's what got me. In other words, I had the money already. I wasn't worried about it. It was a very stable residual income. But if I had the opportunity to to be a part of a company that was going to change the way they treated the representatives in a network marketing company, then I wanted to spearhead that. I wanted to be a part of that. Okay. Like I said, there was no products, right? And there wasn't a compensation plan, but it was the management team and their ideology about how valuable the reps are. Okay. So that's the primary reason that I joined. Okay, so let's jump over and let's talk about this app that you have named Quick. It's a good name, by the way, because it is quick. So if I remember, you called and asked my wife and I to come down to the office, and we didn't really know what it was about. And you opened up with a whiteboard that would have been that way on the wall, like all the way across. And he scribbled for a long, long time, and I was utterly wiped out. He was blowing all of my circuits. Everything that I knew to be true were just like, all the rules of network marketing and all of this went out the window. And I remember on our way home, my wife and I, we left there and we didn't say anything for about 15 minutes. And that's a long time for me and my wife not to be talking. And I was looking at billboards going down the highway, and I was saying, that could be in Quick. That could be in Quick. That could be in Quick. That's what I was thinking. And I asked Laura what she was thinking. And she was doing the same thing. I'm going to call this person. I'm going to call this person. And so that was my journey. And it took me a while to really get it. And so if you don't get it right away, I get it that you don't get it. But stay with it, because you're going to see something that's going to change the world. Okay. All right. So you started the conversation having to do with network marketing. And you said there are problems within the network marketing space that we all know, and we handle objections. We step over the top of the person's like concern, and we just keep on going, right? And you said that this solves a lot of the problems. Can you go back and talk about the problems in network marketing and how Quick solves these problems?
Okay, yes, as long as I go on record first that says I am a huge proponent of network marketing. Sometimes when I bring up these issues, people think, it's like your wife asking me, why don't you give me some help to be a better wife? Yeah, you do that, and it ends with, you don't love me, you don't care about me, and everything else in the planet. So I feel a little bit like that if I say the unspokens, somehow it will be construed, I am not for network marketing. That is completely 100% not true. But it doesn't change the fact that even though you love something, it doesn't change the fact it still has a couple of problems, unless, of course, it's my wife. So I will bring up those couple of items that maybe you as top leaders have experienced yourself. First and foremost, there are surveys that have been done that state 90% of people you approach about network marketing already have a negative stigma about the industry. They have a negative stigma quite often because they think of it like this. Uneducated people think of it as a pyramid. And well, okay, Tim has done marvelous jobs at conventions. I've seen him speaking around the world on explaining the difference between a direct sales company that is legitimate and a pyramid. But to the lay person who doesn't know and doesn't listen, they think it is this. You have to be in on the top. You recruit a bunch of your friends. You buy a product that you never really wanted, that has a story that is made up to make it overpriced so that they can overpay commissions. And the people at the top, if they're lucky enough, they will make a whole bunch of money, while everybody at the bottom is stuck with a bunch of product they don't want. How's that for awful?
Pretty awful.
But it's
that's
true.
Their opinion. That's their
opinion.
Yeah.
If it wasn't true, people would be doing our business all the time and ready to advance. So one day, as I'm thinking about all of these problems and how can we overcome it, I was watching the parallel that was developing in social selling, and particularly with influencers. An influencer won't have anything to do with network marketing. And I know it's a fact because I talked to many, many influencers. In fact, Tim, I had one influencer who the only reason they gave me the time of day was out of respect for a mutual friend who made the introduction. Literally, this kid was, 25, 30 years old. His wife was an influencer, had a couple of million followers. And when we sit down, imagine the sales pitch. Imagine the sales pitch when he says, look, Mr. Cooper, we looked you up. We know you're Mr. MLM. If we had a nickel for every time someone tried to pitch us to join their network marketing company, we don't want to do it, but out of respect for my friend, I will listen to you. And I said, can I have 15 minutes? At any time, stop me, and we can be done. It was less than 15 minutes, and he stopped me and said, you can be done. I want to do quick. So obviously the stigma of what he was concerned about for his wife had changed. Suddenly now it's not products that you have to love because they're overpriced, expensive products to make a commission. They're everyday brand name products. Suddenly you get to sell products you wholeheartedly believe in, not necessarily what the company imposes on you to buy. Suddenly you have customers that are buying the product for the customer's sake only, which helps you with the regulatory issue. There's not a sign up, a permanent enrollment. It doesn't matter when you come in, all compensation is the same as it rolls up in a simple to understand compensation plan that does pay in a residual nature. And as a result, he was interested, as has been every single influencer, and I have talked to a lot of them since. In fact, I don't have an influencer yet that isn't going to do it. That's a pretty good batting average. When you think about, Tim, you are about as good as there is at recruiting. And I know you're not batting 100%.
No, I have to get 7 no's to get 1.
Yeah, and it's usually 9 no's to get 1. So
yeah, I started out at 20.
25% better, you know.
When I first started, I would have to talk to 20 people to get 1.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, that is the math. Okay, thank you for all of that. And I appreciate that you brought up the regulatory thing, because anytime we in the industry, like we'll look at Herbalife or something like that, and we see them getting attacked, and then they pay $200 million, and everybody's like, whoa, they must have been in big trouble. But when you looked at the brochure that they were fined for, it was a white brochure with a house. I would say it was probably a $300,000 house, and a BMW, and 3 $1 bills stacked together. And it said, great products, good products equal great business. That's all it said. And they were fined $200 million because the average person couldn't get a BMW and an average person couldn't get a house. And I thought, whoa. So the regulatory issue for me is that, okay, we got to play their game. And what Quick adds to the table is that somebody can join if they just want to do a little and still win.
Yep.
Right? Like they can win. But the network marketing model, the business network, underneath it, we are able to still build big businesses because we know it is a big business. So that's the thing that I like about both of those. Okay, so how do you view the new age business model and Quick, and how do you handle the conflict of saying, okay, so I don't know, we have a health bar, and then we're, and Quick has on the app another kind of protein bar. And people, what if they choose that one instead of ours? And so how do you handle how a new age rep is going to deal with that when they recruited that person to consume the new age products and not use competing products? So how do you handle that?
Yeah, great question. So this is part of probably why I was scaring Tim, you and Laura, when you first came in, because you got the 5-year plan right at first. Yeah. And so I give you the whole concept and you're like, oh my gosh, can you imagine? I'm going to say something that is crazy. And this is what I told them. Hey, the day is coming when you're going to see someone buying a new age product in Circle K where you earn commissions and you're going to be thanking me for it.
So Circle K is a convenience store in America. Okay. So just so everybody knows that.
A grocery store, a retail store, pick it. Okay. I want you to hear what I'm saying. You walk into your top leader and tell him, we're going retail. Okay, you might as well kiss your company goodbye, right? It's the death sentence. But then over that next hour or whatever you were there, when you start to hear it, you start to realize, oh, wait a minute, this isn't crazy. This actually is revolutionary in what it does. You see, if you're selling, your company is, I don't care what it's selling diet bars. The competition with other brands already exists. It isn't that it is creating competition where there was none. It's people every day are buying bars for weight loss. But if your company decides, I'm not going to do bars because we can't make any money, or it's not our interest, or it will cannibalize other sales, no matter how bad you as a leader want to sell bars, you can't do it. What if there was a way that no matter what the product was, what the service was, you could make commissions not only in Quick, but in the company MLM as well. You could get paid both on a single purchase. And what if you could be a top leader? How many of you have ever brought a product to the table? I know Tim has, where the company would not do it. They just said, no, we're not interested in promoting that product. But you have thousands in your organization who completely disagree and want to sell that product. What if you could earn commissions through Quick and through New Age's compensation plan for selling the products you choose to sell? And you, as the top leader, make money because you are the influencer of your entire organization. And as soon as people realize, oh my gosh, my distribution channel is my downline, and I have the opportunity to make commissions every time they go to the grocery store, in addition to the products they purchase from the company, your mind all of a sudden changes from hating the competition to loving the choice in competition, because you don't care if they pick your brand or your competitor's brand, you make money. You as a New Age rep makes money, but the person buying the bars from a competitor for the first time in their life, get to experience residual income similar to how it's paid in a direct selling company. And instantly, the influencers I talk to say, oh my gosh, I'll make 4 times what I'm making now. And it lasts forever. Of course I'm going to join. And then I say, okay, and don't join the network marketing company. Just do Quik. But I have a hunch after a little while, you're going to hate leaving money on the table at Quik. And instead of recruiting people with the hope they can make a side hustle money in New Age or in any network marketing company, they're going to quickly realize, holy cow, if I would just join the network marketing company, I would be making even more money as we speak. Pretty easy sell to get someone to join.
Yeah, I was just going to add into there with no additional effort, because that basket that I showed, all the points would be running through the organization. And so you would now be receiving the New Age compensation on it. And so I'm going to, once Dr. Cooper leaves, I'm going to walk through how that all works. But all of that is an absolutely fantastic example. And I am seeing the big shift in the influencers. There are websites devoted to attracting influencers, and you think that they're after the big names, but they are also after the guy who's in a fishing boat 3 days a week, and he's recording videos of him catching fish, and they will go out and they will say, hey, try this lure, we'll give you the lure and we'll pay you $500 to shoot a video with our fishing lure. And if that guy in the boat fishing had any idea how much money the company was making, he would know that the $500 was nothing. So have you had experience with when you're talking to influencers where they're like, what?
Oh, absolutely. So they get $500 for doing the video, and maybe in 60 to 90 days, they get 10% or 15% of one sale from a person who swiped up to make the purchase. When you tell them, how would you like to make 15% on everyone who buys anytime they buy from you, not just in the six weeks or the 3 months campaign, anytime, every time. And when that person who bought the lure retweets the lure and buy, you receive a commission from them as well. And from the friends of the friends and the friends of the friends. A very simple concept in network marketing that is totally revolutionary to an influencer. And to the network marketers, they go crazy going, you mean to tell me when you go into your local fishing shop and you buy a whole bunch of products, there will be commissionable volume for me that automatically gets placed in my compensation plan at New Age to optimize my commission check? Yes. Oh, everybody goes, yeah, we're in. No problem.
Yeah. And now let's look at it from a slightly different angle, which is look at the value that you're actually bringing to the influencer. So the guy or the gal who is putting on mascara, and she says, I use this. It's the only one that doesn't clump, and I really, really like it. And so below is the link for you to buy it. And if you share it with your friends, then you're going to earn a commission. Okay, so the friends share it. That creates a loyalty to the influencer because they're like, wow, I just made money. And so my mascara was free, right? And so it creates a loyalty to the influencer. That, when I realized it, I was like, okay, so that takes away any hesitation in reaching out to influencers. You have to do it in a specific way and things like that. But I saw that in there. And have you ever brought that up? Has anybody, any of the influencers ever looked at that side of it?
Oh, not only do they see that side where they will be more loyal, right now, most people as an influencer, they promote a brand, but then everybody runs around them and goes and buys it, and they never make any credit for it.
Exactly.
So as soon as they realize, oh my gosh, this ties them to me and my true sphere of influence, that's when they get very, very excited because they have metrics of exactly how effective they are. And it doesn't matter whether you have a following base of 1 million people, 5 million people, or 5 people, because you get paid on the friends of your friends of your friends. So I don't need to know the world's greatest influencer. I just need to know someone who knows someone who knows someone who knows the world's greatest influencer, and I'm making money.
All right. So the last thing I want to talk about, and ask you about, has to do with leaders. And I know on this call there are a few mega leaders here, and you and I both have been in that space where, like, I'll bring a leader and we'll sit down and they end up loving the management team and they end up loving the compensation plan and they love everything. And then they put this, I will only come if you sell this product. Okay. All right. Yep. And I'm literally holding up one of these things that has happened. There was this involved in it also. Their pulse devices. Yeah, and that's what the person wants in order to bring their team. And and the company looks at it and says, man, we're going to lose money every sale. Is it worth it to bring this person here? And they start saying, well, maybe they will end up, I don't know, buying some of these along with it. And then maybe we'll make it back. They call them lost leaders in the grocery store. And so when I realized that Quwick allows us to be able to bring in any product.
Yep.
And we can have the margins that work, right? And so talk about that a little bit in terms of, like, because sometimes leaders, they just want to bring their training system or something like that, or sometimes they want products. And I get it, like I had my wishes that when I came, and everybody does, from a leader's standpoint, when they say, hey, I'm bringing these 100,000 people or whatever it is. So talk a little bit about the freedom of that.
Yeah. Well, think about how backward that is, Tim. The industry is retarded. You have an influencer called a mega leader who's really an influencer.
Yeah.
Who has thousands of people who want to buy this product. And they want to buy it from the company, and the company says, no. Okay. I'm sorry, what? Why does the company even think that way? A leader wants to bring their training system that makes it possible for people to become more successful. It's almost like the company says, we don't want you using your influence on anything other than what we want you to do.
Right.
You know, call me crazy. What if you actually let these mega leaders on this call sell the products they are fired up to people who are fired up to sell it and buy it as well? And what if you let the leader determine the margin they wanted for themselves and determine products they believe they can promote and sell? How fast would the business grow? If you told me, okay, I'm pretty influential and I have to sell this highlighter pen. Tim, I don't want to sell the highlighter pen. I'm not excited about the highlighter pen. But if you'll let me sell these coasters with my name on it, oh, I love it. In our industry, we go, no, you can't sell those. We don't, no. You got to sell this. And you better enjoy it and love it. It's crazy.
I know.
Quick now enables anyone to go, wait. Not only can I get paid through the structure of compensation of MLM like I'm used to, I can also make extra money on my own products that I'm really fired up to sell. Yeah, and it's terrible because the company's going to make extra money. Extra money goes into the leadership bonus pools because of it. Everybody's making extra money. I mean, that's terrible. We got to tell people, you cannot be selling these because heaven forbid we all are successful. That's how retarded our industry is that has now been fixed by Quick. What you are passionate about, what you love, you can now do it all yourselves. And it runs through the compensation plan tree. And if your training system is really better than Tim's sales, call me crazy. But I bet you Tim Sales stops doing whatever training program he is and says, I'm going to use yours. I'll take the extra money and I'll take the extra performance and growth it's creating in my organization as well. Everyone benefits by doing it this way.
Okay, so last question, and that is, so where are we in the timeline of your vision? And without scaring them to death with your vision, it took me a bit of time to recover from that.
Tim, did you notice I cut it down? There's more coming.
Yeah.
Okay.
So where are we in the timeline right now towards your vision?
So right now, the user experience based on the beta that we've done in North America has been coded, updated, recoded, updated, getting closer and closer to a version I'm very proud of.
Good.
Then the next step is to get the statistics very good for the brand who is going to be using Quick as an affiliate loyalty platform. But for New Age, those people that want to bring and sell their coaster to their organization, that can be done in a week. So from that standpoint, New Age is going to be the first direct selling company that really does say, oh no, please come bring products you actually want to sell. We'll be happy to let you do that. Call me crazy.
And, you know, I've seen the simplicity and the ease, just to the audience here. We have partnered with companies, right? So even network marketing companies look at our model and say, well, I don't want to get run over by that train. And so I want to go ahead and get my products into the New Age list of brands, right? And so the simplicity, the conversation. So when I said I don't exaggerate. I don't fluff things. Now you understand why I said that this is a revolutionary product or app. And it's not because I want to kill everybody or something. No, it is that Dr. Cooper has a vision and said it's all going this way anyway.
Anyway, yeah.
Let's just be able to bring everybody in instead of Jeff Bezos going to $2 trillion in his, worth. Dr. Cooper is, when I said humble, a lot of people probably laughed right then, but I didn't, because he's the only one that I've ever seen that would give the most of the volume, the most of the commission away.
Yep.
And so, companies are joining us, big influencers are joining us, and it is because of his willingness to share almost all of it. He'll take a tiny piece, but that's it. And that's what I just admire so much, Dr. Cooper, about you and what you've done. And thank you for creating this. And thank you for the company that you've, the New Age company. We merged with a company, we were RX, we merged with New Age. As most times there's a merge, new things are found out and things like that, and new pecking orders of who is this, because if you have a company that has an accountant and you already had an accountant, you have to kind of like, okay, so which accountant are we going to keep and things like that. And so I knew there was going to be this pecking order thing that goes on. And so we're just going through that stage of it. And Dr. Cooper, and it's who I joined. Okay. So it's the management team of RX that I joined in. And I feel as though that is what I'm still working with. That's who I got on this call to share with you, because this is who I believe in. So I just wanted everyone to meet my real partner, if you will. So, Dr. Cooper, I really appreciate your time so very much, sir. Thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thanks, Tim. Good to see you.
You bet. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and head in and talk about New Age. All right. So for people who are not familiar with it, let me just jump down to that section. All right. I just now that he has gone, I hope you got the same sort of a understanding about him. And yes, Quick is awesome, and the idea is awesome, but he's the golden goose that is always laying golden eggs, and that's who you want to partner with. All right, like that's really it. If you want to be in big business, you got to get with people who are way more competent than you in another area, right? Another subject, right? And so he is not the product person. He's the idea guy. He's the strategy guy. And we have product people, and we have, IT people, and we have different people, right? So that way you can understand how to make really good decisions. You get the right people on the bus, and then you decide where you go. It's not jump on a bus because it's heading in the direction you want to go. No, that's kind of like, that's suicide operation. I see so many people. I joined this company because they had a product that you wrap plastic around your leg and you lose cellulite. And that's just the idea of a product. And then you end up going, man, what was I thinking? Like that's the kind of thing that I see. So over my 34 years, it's 34 years, but 32 of those years, I've earned 6 to 7 figure income. And 18 of those years, I didn't work at all, but I was still making 6 to 7 figure income. And the majority of the time it's over a 7 figure income. So this is my family, and I want you to just look at the eyes of these boys, because that is my definition. When I say our definition, I'm talking about me and my wife, our definition of freedom. That's what we like. When we prioritized, we came down to, we want this freedom, and that's what we want. Okay. So we all the priorities aside, and it came down to that. This is our kind of view. This is out that window right there. There's an orchard, there's a garden, there's a river that is on the left-hand side. And that's what I wanted. I wanted that peace and freedom. This is the kind of trouble I want my kid getting into. Because I have been around this world many, many times, and I've seen trouble start in schools and trouble start with kids. And I would rather him get in trouble because he walked his boots into the house wet than some of the other trouble. This is our traffic jam. Okay, so there's cows in the street over here, and over here, you can't see it unless you look real close, but those are all sheep that are on the road. And so I had to sit and wait in my driveway until the sheep went by. That's the kind of traffic jam I want. And so I just wanted to share with you that that's the freedom we chose. And I want you to choose the freedom you want. Okay? That's what I want. That's the reason I'm still working when I don't have to work, is because what good is it if I'm living on my piece of freedom and there's so many people who are suffering? And so that's what I am all about. And that's what my wife is all about. Okay. So whatever that freedom means to you. All right. So what everybody wants to know when they're looking at a business is what's your differentiation factor? Why your product? Why your business? All right. So I've already talked about the social selling app, and I'm going to talk to you here about House of Brands and a true partnership. Okay, so you just met Dr. Cooper right here. This is Deanna Latson, and this is Mark Wilson, and Ian Chandler, and the others that are a part of this group that moved to join. All right, so and start the company. And it was, when I was retired 18 years, I was a consultant to a number of network marketing companies because of my success with a video called Brilliant Compensation. So it was 44 million views, and those are purchase views. And so I got a big name, and then companies would try to hire me to do what? To come in and increase their sales, right? Every one of them, that's what they wanted. But what I found inside those companies was a huge lack of competency. Truthfully, I would have never hired one of them to clean my garage. Okay, like the competency wasn't there. And so a lot of times that's what people end up joining because of a compensation plan or because of a product. But I wanted a teammate that was way better than me. That's what I wanted. And that's what we got here. Okay. So these are some of the brands that have joined us because of the management team, because of Quwick, and I didn't really even recognize the value of the partnerships of all these brands until somebody called me and said, hey, Tim, I've seen you out on social media and you're in New Age, and I'd like to join this company called Mavi. Well, I didn't even know that they were a part of our company. And I said, okay, well, good. Have fun. And he goes, well, can you sign me up? And I go, what? What are you talking about? And so I called the company. I said, is Mavi part of our group? And they go, yeah. See, he wouldn't have joined me had it not been that reason, right? So now you guys can kind of get the idea of how these brands and start coming together, and they're all part of us. And so we're going to have more diversification there. And when I say novel brands, anytime you look at a network marketing company and you kind of go, oh, okay, so great. They got nutrition, they got skincare, blah, 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 right? They got household products, blah, blah, blah. And I was the person who recruited Deanna Latson, who is the chief product officer. And it was because of her devotion and dedication to lack of toxins and a product that actually helps and benefits. And that for the dollar that you pay, you get more than $1 in value. That is what her entire mission is all about. Okay, so I'm just going to just run through and show you just a couple of things that I have built large networks with. Okay, so you can look at it and you can say, okay, so I can build a network around a weight loss program. So my wife created a weight loss program. I created a weight loss program. And then we went out and we campaigned that particular product. So we can just choose any of the brands we want and then go out with it. Yeah, and if you don't know, you don't really have that kind of drive, well, you just tuck in behind a leader that's already created a campaign around it. Right? So that's kind of the way that we do it. And the ones that I've outlined here, the weight loss, the skincare, I'll show you both of those. And then the Purity brand of products, best water filtration there is in the world. I know my water very, very well. This is, so I had to be the first to step out there. And so I lost 28 pounds in 60 days and then lost additional weight. And I think I was 54 at that time. I then put out an ad on Facebook and I recruited about 26 people quit in the first week because of how many times we'd be meeting each week. But the average weight loss, nobody ever shows you average. They show you top stars. The average weight loss of these older men were 26.7 pounds in 60 days with no exercise. Okay, that's the truth. Every one of these guys can attest to it. The hottest product right now is this product called Renew. All right, so when you marry it with the weight loss, it really is substantial because what the Renew product does is that it helps trigger your body's natural hormone growth hormone. And this is a patent pending product. It's the Renew product. And so nobody wants to believe me that a person can lose weight without exercise. In fact, the FDA doesn't ever acknowledge that. Facebook shut down my ads because it was impossible to lose weight without exercise. And so I always showed this picture of Lisa because she lost 130 pounds and obviously she can't get up from that chair. And so, yes, you can lose weight, okay? Water filtration, the little filter that's inside of this water bottle right here, that little filter right there, people think that what they're trying to get out is the orange section there, bacteria, viruses, and parasites. Well, yeah, we get that out, but we also get out Prozac and birth control pills and anti-seizure medication and hormone disruptors. And nobody else gets that. They can't even test for that, okay? Because they're so small. No water system in the world has been set up to get that stuff out, right? And so, yes, of course, we get out lead and mercury and all of those things, and also the chlorine, ammonia, industrial plastic, and things like this. And it's portable. You can carry it in your backpack. You can give it to your kids to take to school, and they can pour the water fountain into it. It's just fabulous. My wife, truth be told, she will tell you, and she always told me this, is that every skincare damages your skin more than it does help. until she was part of the group that was working Lucem. And I'm telling you, she is obsessed with the skincare, and it is really, really good. Okay, so that's a little bit on the products. You can tell I'm kind of blitzing through this. Now let's talk about Bill of Rights and the compensation. So what was that whole thing? So it's true ownership. They're not after, okay, so where they used to be, the network marketing company, the owner had come down and made them claw back commissions. Okay, so they also told them to terminate people. Yeah, terminate people. Why? Greed, right? And I had experienced it many, many times. People would come to me and talk to me about this. And it was just horrible. And so I was like, that's one of the reasons I want to come back into the industry, is because they do that. Some network marketing companies, those lack of competent people and things like that. And that just really ticked me off. Okay, so it's true ownership, and it's true protection, ability to review compensation plan changes. In other words, that right there is the Founders Club. And so there is a group that we earn into that position, and now we vote whether or not to terminate compensation plan or terminate people or not. In other words, if it's on my team, man, I'm going to be looking at it really, really hard. And so that's the way the company created the checks and balance. All right. And then here are the countries that we're open in. And so what I view is that it is a very wide space that you can do business in, but it isn't very deep yet. Okay, so that means we have a lot of territory to cover to generate more and more and more sales. Okay, and then it is a true partnership. And here I'm going into the compensation plan just a little bit so you can understand it. So it's 50% of US sales dollars. 50%. That's about 30% more than any compensation plan I've ever seen. Okay. There's no cap. Caps are the death, and you never even know what's going on. And it requires the representatives here in order to change it. Okay. So we have the same voting rights as the company does. And so if you remember, Amazon dropped down to 3% on average, but we're paying out 50%. And so it's substantial. Okay, so what does it take? And I'm going to be very factual here, statistically factual. What does it take? Everybody wants to know that, because yeah, the company can be great, but people inside have doubts in themselves. And I know it. And I know it really, really well, because the only trade I knew was weapons and bombs. That was the only trade I knew. I mean, I could make a cutting board for my mom in a carpenter class in high school, but that was about it. And so I was worried. And it wasn't until I began to see the simplicity of it. And I want to give that simplicity to you. In any situation that requires a company or a church or anything else to grow, it must acquire new people. And the process is always the same. And I'm going to tell you, this will set you free. You know, I'm talking about freedom here, right? This will set you free if you really get it. And so the simplicity is that you generate a lead. Well, how do you generate a lead? You've got social media. You can just send some, private message somebody, right? And that's generating a lead. You can look in your phone at your contacts. There's leads in there potentially. You can go down the street and put door hangers on people's doors, like anything to generate a lead. And then you contact that lead and you set an appointment for them to see a presentation. That presentation could be you. That presentation could also be a video. Just as you got onto this presentation, somebody generated a lead, contacted you, set an appointment for you to see it. It's that simple, okay? And then, so somehow you got on this call, right? And so somebody generated a lead. You, and contacted you, set an appointment to do a presentation. And you're now watching that presentation. So it's that simple. And then you follow up. And you follow up 7 times statistically. I've never seen a benefit beyond that. And then you get a customer, you serve the customer, and you make money. If you're recruiting for representatives, salespeople, then you get a rep and you serve them, just like I'm serving Ariel and Yair right now, and you make money. Okay? Now, I'm telling you that that right there set me free, and it was a long time ago that I had this. I was single. My dream was to have my dream girl. How do you find a dream girl or a dream guy? Well, you're going to have to put leads across this thing I call the pipeline. And so I did. And so I met her through a friend, and I contacted her. I set an appointment to go to dinner. We went to dinner, and I was the presentation, not dinner, but dinner had something to do with it. And so then I followed up, and I asked her out again, and I kept doing that for several years. And then I asked her to marry me, and you've seen the results of this. The same thing has to happen for any church organization to grow, for any college to get people. They have to go outbound to high schools to get them to come to their college. There's not a single activity that doesn't do this. And so anybody who tells you that, oh, that sounds like a used car salesman or something like that, they're just uneducated and not very bright, right? Because everything requires this process. So once I got really, really confident in it, and it was by moving leads across the pipeline, I learned how to communicate better and better. Notice I didn't say good, better and better, right? And I had to start from a very low level. All right, so the secrets are know what you're looking for, right? So that when you spot them, you'll know. It's people who want it like you do. And that's all I'm searching for. It was what I was searching for my wife. I wanted a girl that dreamed of a farm, okay? Or at least a freedom or something like that. Do quantity. In other words, lots of leads across the pipeline so that you're not hungry, right? So people get desperate. They only have one prospect and they must make them do it. You can't do that. All right. And so you're not hungry, pushy, or trying to convince somebody. Okay. So that's my secrets there. So let's go back to this customer network, and I want to tie in our compensation plan and how it works. So this would be a customer network. So let's say that I sent a link through Quwick with this water bottle to Ariella and Yair. Okay, so that might be one customer network. Okay, and then let's say that I contacted someone else and I put them in my number 2 network. And so while they're promoting a product, that volume is in one of those buckets or the other. And if I did that volume, I can make up to $2,000 a week. If that bottom bucket's not there, meaning you're not in New Age, then all that volume keeps on going down below the penny. All right. In other words, it's out of your pay structure. So that's what I want to talk to you about. So this right here is the simplicity of it. So you can just imagine that there's a bucket right here and there's a bucket right here. That's really what I'm talking about. So you build line 1 This would be line 1, and this would be line 2. And if you get 13,334 points in all of that network, and it can go infinitely deep in order to get to 13,334, and you did that on both sides, you would make $104,000 a year. And that's really all that I would ever need to talk about in terms of compensation, because $104,000 a year would change a whole lot of people's lives. Okay. I know that there are some mega leaders on the call, and so I just want to go in a little bit deeper, but that's the simplicity of it. And the conversation that nobody in network marketing wants to answer is, if I only sponsored 2 people, how much money could I make? Oh, well, that depends, right? There, in ours, if you only sponsor 2 people and they were the right 2 people, you make $104,000 a year in base pay. Notice this phrase right here, base pay, because there are other compensation in it. Now, people, competitors of ours, they like to say, oh, you mean to tell me I only make $2,000 a week off of my pay lines or something like that? And I'm like, no. And they go, yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's true. No. Okay, and that's what I'm going to, that's the myth that I'm going to blow out of the water here. I had to get Dr. Cooper off the call because I'm going to show you something that he might not approve. Okay, so now you can see these buckets and get the idea. Customer network 1, customer network 2. And it doesn't matter what it is, if you're sending out the links to people and then they are repeating that, some won't, some will. And, you know, and so that each one of them. So now we're going to end up not requiring everybody to build a business in order to make the money. That's what's different now. It is, you know, some people buying, I don't know, Q-tips, and some people buying these things, and some people buying water bottles, and some people, see, that's the idea. All right. So now I've shown you that you just need to build 2 lines to make base pay $104,000 a year. I'm going to expand it just a little, okay? You, after this has been optimized to 13,334, you're now able to put yourself under a team, either side you want. And then you can do it again. All right. And not only will you make another $104,000 a year, but if you chose, instead of putting U2 here, and you just wanted to build wide, you can. And when I say wide, that's an industry phrase. And so it's, you can build deep or you can build wide. I like to build deep. Why? Because if this right here is optimized at 13,334, it doesn't matter if this one is or not. It would still be optimized because the volume flows up. Okay, I like that better. So I build a more stable organization. But you, if you wanted to, you could build wide if people prefer it. Okay, so it's binary versus uni-level. And so people say, oh, it's a binary plan. No, you can do either one. All right. When you do this one right here and you build down below, we call that income positions. So you're putting in income positions down here. And over here, we call them building new pay lines. So it's pay lines. There is a bonus every time you build a new one of these, a bonus that you get. And there's a bonus every time you build one of these. When you build depth, we call them income positions. There is you get 2% of worldwide sales. It's a volume pool, and you get to tap into the volume pool. Okay. And if you want to take a screenshot of how many positions and how much money you make, you're welcome to do it. I'm going to show you just by only building 3. I built more, but just by building 3, I'm going to show you what you can earn. Okay. Or if you decide to go this way with base pay, then it's 1% of worldwide sales. Why do you get a benefit for going wide instead of going deep? Or why do you get a benefit for going for the 2%? So let me go back over here. Why is this a 2% pool and the other one's a 1% pool? It is because when you build deep, you build both sides. When you build wide, you only have to build one side to 13,334 points. Okay. So, and again, you can freeze the frame and you can see it's basically the same that you get with the other one, but you're in the 1% pool instead of the 2% pool. Okay. So this is my check. And this is back in 2021. And so right here, so people say, oh, you only make $2,000 a week. No, because they're not understanding what the income position bonus adds. It adds $11,000 a month. And they don't understand matching bonus. That gave me almost $60,000 a month in matching bonus. The base pay is here. Okay, so now you really get the idea. My average matching bonus is about $4,900, okay, a month. So that's the average per income position. So now you can see that you get a whole lot more than $2,000 off of a building those 2 positions. Okay. All right. So I can't thank you enough for the amount of time that you have granted me on this call. I will go ahead and terminate this. I really, really thank you. You've been tremendous. I've been watching the chat, just constantly scrolling, and you make me smile. You make my effort to help people get freedom. It makes it so worth it to me. And so, Ariella, I don't know if you want to say anything else or ask any questions or anything, but just wanted to pass it over to you.
Well, I just wanted to thank you so much. I think we had so much mind-blowing information that a lot of people need time to digest everything we just heard about. But I think there was one thing that is very, very strong during this whole event, that is something amazing and new is coming. Now, I know that something new is coming. There are 2 different ways to react to it. Some of the people get scared because it's new, they don't know it, and they don't know how to handle it. And the other kind of people are curious and want to learn more. So I just want to talk to those kind of people who find that fascinating and interesting and got curious and want to understand more, because just like Fred said, this is coming to the industry. Whether we like it or not, it's coming to the industry. So I think we better all understand that the change is coming, and from both options, the better option is to be prepared and to be amongst the first people who understand it, who lead it, and they're a part of this change, because people who actually make this movement are the people who are going to benefit the most of it. So thank you very much for everything. I'm sure people have a lot of questions regarding all this amazing presentation. So you are more than welcome to approach whoever invited you to this presentation, and we will be more than happy to answer all your questions. So thank you very much, Tim. Thanks for everything.
All righty. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye. Thank you very much. So
it's been an honor. Thank you.
Thank you. It's been our honor. Thank you so much. טוב, אז אני אעבור חזרה לעברית. לא יודעת אם הספיקו לתרגם אותי ככה, אבל באמת עברנו קרוב לשעתיים של הרבה מידע, איך מתרגמים mind blowing? שמפוצץ את המוח, אוקיי? כי באמת שינוי מאוד 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 גדול הגיע, בסדר? ועכשיו זה שלנו לבחור איך אנחנו ניגשים לזה ומה אנחנו הולכים לעשות עם זה. אז העצה הכי טובה שיש לי לתת לכם באמת, זה תבדקו. לפני הכל, חבר'ה, תבדקו, תבררו, תשאלו שאלות, תבינו מה השינוי הזה ואיזה מהפכה זה הולך להביא איתו, ואיך זה הולך להשפיע על כל אחד ואחד מאיתנו, כל מי שפועל כרגע בתעשייה, הולך להיות מושפע מהשינוי הזה. אני מאחלת לכם ולכולנו, שנשכיל באמת להיות מושפעים מהדבר הזה לטובה. וזהו, ותודה רבה לכולכם, שנשארתם עד עכשיו, יודעת שהשעה מאוחרת. אז תודה רבה לכולם, שיהיה לכם המשך לילה קסום,